dirt tracks in California. On state-owned land.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, oh. I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
So a couple of farmer kids start putting together these Mini Coopers. There's no arrive and drive team. You're not giving some check to somebody else to go do this. You and your brother figuring this out.
Yeah.
Where was Dad in all this?
He was, he's farming.
Yeah.
It was the thing. By the time I was 13,
Yeah.
I did everything. Like if I wanted to race, I had to make sure the car was ready. I remember one year I built my first engine, and it was like brand new. It had been honed, and obviously got new pistons, new rings, everything. My dad said, right, go and drive around for sort of half an hour or so, running in nice and slowly before we take it to the racetrack, running in. I went out, and basically, a minute later, the oil pressure light comes on. I was a bit, I'm 12, I've got no kind of idea, but there's a big light. So I came back, I said, Dad, look, the oil pressure light's on. He's like, oh my God. Where I cleaned out all the old oil and that was in the gearbox, I'd left a massive rag in the bottom of the sump. So that taught me, do the job properly and not do it twice, because that cost me another day, taking the engine out, taking it to bits, and figure, there's a rag on the oil pickup.
Yeah.
It is the final day to qualify for the 92nd running of the Indianapolis 500. This will be the final qualifying attempt. Does Mario Dominguez make it in? Into the green, down the back straightaway.
Just looks strong.
My grandfather, he was a farmer.
Okay.
And he decides to leave the farm. Back then, or still now, one of the biggest roads in Brazil is the road which connects São Paulo to the south. So he moves, and then he opens this restaurant where my grandma would cook. So he goes to this place near São Paulo.
This middle ground.
Yeah. He opens a restaurant, and he does the steak.
Yeah.
But he was analphabet. How do you say? He's analphabet. If you cannot write and read, how do you say?
Illiterate?
Literate.
Yeah, illiterate, yeah.
Illiterate, yeah. He could not take orders.
Because he couldn't write, yeah.
And then one day he decided to just put a buffet in the middle with the salad and give everything the same for everybody.
Wow. Go on.
So he created the system, which calls rodízio in Portuguese. It became extremely popular.
So this sort of serve yourself style was born from illiteracy.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you just make it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He needed a way to make this work.
Yeah.
And so they came with a system that worked for him. And you went through the Red Bull junior program.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah, so you were tormented by Helmut Marko at some point in your life. Is basically what we're saying.
So when I met Dr. Marko, I was like, he looked at me. So Felipe, you are too old.
Nice to meet you.
So Felipe, On the Monday, when I get to my office, I ask my assistant to print the results of my drivers. And if you are in the top 3, you are okay. If I have to look down, my neck starts to some pain. And one time it's okay, but more than once it's not bad luck. It's incompetence. So my 4th race, Dr. Marco called me. Hey, Philippe, so this race here in Estoril, you need to go to the podium. Yeah, but this is the Formula 3. These guys are way too good. No. Now, you go there and you go to the podium. Yeah, but it's super hard. Yeah, no. You need to go to the podium, otherwise this is not your sport. Okay.
You gotta tone it down, like way down.
Do you find he's more motivated when he's combative?
Yes. That does slightly scare me.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I've turned into my dad, even though I've tried as hard as I could to not.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
What do the following tracks have in common? They're all dirt tracks. They're all dirt tracks in California. On state-owned land.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
So a couple of farmer kids start putting together these Mini Coopers. There's no arrive and drive team. You're not giving some check to somebody else to go do this. You and your brother figuring this out.
Yeah.
Where was Dad in all this?
He was, he's farming.
Yeah.
It was the thing. By the time I was 13,
Yeah.
I did everything. Like if I wanted to race, I had to make sure the car was ready. I remember one year I built my first engine, and it was like brand new. It had been honed, and obviously got new pistons, new rings, everything. My dad said, right, go and drive around for sort of half an hour or so, running in nice and slowly before we take it to the racetrack. Running in, I went out, and basically, a minute later, the oil pressure light comes on. I was a bit, I'm 12, I've got no kind of idea, but there's a big light. So I came back, I said, Dad, look, the oil pressure light's on. He's like, oh my God. Where I cleaned out all the old oil and that was in the gearbox, I'd left a massive rag in the bottom of the sump. So that taught me, do the job properly and not do it twice. Because that cost me another day, taking the engine out, taking it to bits and figure, yeah, there's a rag on the oil pickup.
Yeah.
It is the final day to qualify for the 92nd running of the Indianapolis 500. This will be the final qualifying attempt. Does Mario Dominguez make it in? Into the green, down the back straightaway.
Just looks strong.
My grandfather, he was a farmer.
Okay.
And he decides to leave the farm. Back then, or still now, one of the biggest roads in Brazil is the road which connects São Paulo to the south. So he moves and then he opens this restaurant where my grandma would cook. So he goes to this place near São Paulo.
This middle ground.
Yeah. He opens a restaurant and he does the steak.
Yeah.
But he was analphabet. How do you say? It's analphabet. If you cannot write and read, how do you say?
Illiterate?
Literate.
Yeah, illiterate, yeah.
Illiterate, yeah. He could not take orders.
Because he couldn't write, yeah.
And then one day he decided to just put a buffet in the middle with the salad and give everything the same for everybody.
Wow. Go on.
So he created the system, which calls rodízio in Portuguese. It became extremely popular.
So this sort of serve yourself style was born from illiteracy.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you just make it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He needed a way to make this work.
Yeah.
And so he came with a system that worked for him. And you went through the Red Bull junior program.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. So you were tormented by Helmut Marko at some point in your life. Is basically what we're saying.
So when I met Dr. Marko, I was like, he looked at me. So, Felipe, you are too old.
Nice to meet you.
So, Felipe, on the Monday, when I get to my office, I ask my assistant to print the results of my drivers. And if you are in the top 3, you are okay. If I have to look down, my neck starts to some pain. And one time it's okay. But more than once, it's not bad luck. It's incompetence. So my 4th race, Dr. Marko called me. Hey, Felipe, so this race here in Estoril, you need to go to the podium. Yeah, but this is the Formula 3. These guys are way too good. No. Now, you go there and you go to the podium. Yeah, but it's super hard. Yeah, no. You need to go to the podium, otherwise this is not your sport. Okay.
You gotta tone it down, way down.
Do you find he's more motivated when he's combative?
Yes. That does slightly scare me.
That's who I am. Yeah. You know, I've turned into my dad, even though I've tried as hard as I could to not.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
What do the following tracks have in common? in California. On state-owned land.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, oh. I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
So a couple of farmer kids start putting together these Mini Coopers. There's no arrive and drive team. You're not giving some check to somebody else to go do this. You and your brother figuring this out.
Yeah.
Where was Dad in all this?
He was, he's farming.
Yeah.
It was the thing. By the time I was 13,
Yeah.
I did everything. Like if I wanted to race, I had to make sure the car was ready. I remember one year I built my first engine, and it was like brand new. It had been honed, and obviously got new pistons, new rings, everything. My dad said, right, go and drive around for sort of half an hour or so, running in nice and slowly before we take it to the racetrack. Running in, I went out, and basically, a minute later, the oil pressure light comes on. I was a bit, I'm 12, I've got no kind of idea, but there's a big light. So I came back, I said, Dad, look, the oil pressure light's on. He's like, oh my God. Where I cleaned out all the old oil and that was in the gearbox, I'd left a massive rag in the bottom of the sump. So that taught me, do the job properly and not do it twice. Because that cost me another day, taking the engine out, taking it to bits, and figure, there's a rag on the oil pickup.
Yeah.
It is the final day to qualify for the 92nd running of the Indianapolis 500. This will be the final qualifying attempt. Does Mario Dominguez make it in? Into the green, down the back straightaway.
Just looks strong.
My grandfather, he was a farmer.
Okay.
And he decides to leave the farm. Back then, or still now, one of the biggest roads in Brazil is the road which connects São Paulo to the south. So he moves, and then he opens this restaurant where my grandma would cook. So he goes to this place near São Paulo.
This middle ground.
Yeah. He opens a restaurant, and he does the steak.
Yeah.
But he was analphabet. How do you say? It's analphabet. If you cannot write and read, how do you say?
Illiterate?
Literate.
Yeah, illiterate, yeah.
Illiterate, yeah. He could not take orders.
Because he couldn't write, yeah.
And then one day he decided to just put a buffet in the middle with the salad and give everything the same for everybody.
Wow. Go on.
So he created the system, which calls rodízio in Portuguese. It became extremely popular.
So this sort of serve yourself style was born from illiteracy.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you just make it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He needed a way to make this work.
Yeah.
And so he came with a system that worked for him. And you went through the Red Bull junior program.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. So you were tormented by Helmut Marko at some point in your life. Is
Yeah.
basically what we're saying.
So when I met Dr. Marko, I was like, he looked at me. So, Felipe, you are too old.
Nice to meet you.
So, Felipe, on the Monday, when I get to my office, I ask my assistant to print the results of my drivers. And if you are in the top 3, you are okay. If I have to look down, my neck starts to some pain. And one time it's okay, but more than once it's not bad luck. It's incompetence. So my 4th race, Dr. Marco called me. Hey, Philippe, so this race here in Australia, you need to go to the podium. Yeah, but this is the Formula 3. These guys are way too good. No. Now, you go there and you go to the podium. Yeah, but it's super hard. Yeah, no. You need to go to the podium, otherwise this is not your sport. Okay.
You got to tone it down, like way down.
Do you find he's more motivated when he's combative?
Yes. That does slightly scare me.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
You know? I've turned into my dad, even though I've tried as hard as I could to not.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
All right, I think we're live.
Okay.
I'm just gonna assume we're live.
Yeah. Well,
We may or may not be. I don't know. Oh wait,
sure
hold on. Yeah, I'm sure our chat rooms. They're probably gonna tell us that we're hearing audio of the other video. Okay, good.
In
Yeah.
Cool.
California.
All right, well, welcome to yet another edition of Thursday Night Blunder after a little bit of an extended hiatus. Now, as last we left it, it was like beginning of January
The following images
of this
were
year,
generated
and we had
entirely
a
from Adobe Firefly,
last chance
an
qualifying
AI-based image
event to
creator.
lead us into the World Final, and then things like the Rolex 24 and Ryan's racing schedules kind of took over for the month of January, and then that led into February, and then that led into March, and then Ryan, I don't know if you knew this, but we have a show on Motor Trend and a podcast.
I am aware of that.
And somehow all those things kept adding up, and we could never come back to the series. But we're back now. We still have a World Final from last year that we owe everybody, but we decided let's have an event to kind of come back together and do this last chance
Well,
qualifying.
hang on a second.
Okay.
You're forgetting one thing is that we don't owe anybody anything.
That's actually a fair point.
But number 2, your racing career is also getting on our schedule now as well.
It is, yeah. I'm a problem. I'm sorry that my racing career has gotten in the way of our iRacing league. But yeah, it has, and that's like the Rolex 24, for example. Last year, we had to cut it off a little bit early. But anyway, so let us know if there's any issues, and we'll come back in a minute, and we'll talk about just what's on store here at this last chance qualifying of IMSA GTP cars at Oxford Plains. Ryan, is anyone saying anything? Is anybody complaining?
It's hard to tell the difference between complaining and commenting, but so
Sure.
far it looks okay.
Okay, so that's good. So let me just get a little video queued up here, and hey, we'll be right back.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh,
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, oh. I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
All right, we are back, and we will stay on for a little bit here. We are watching practice here at Oxford Plains Speedway with, hey, Ryan Eversley, what kind of cars are we looking at?
These will be GTP cars for tonight's race, and nothing says GTP cars like I don't even call this an oval, it's more of a circle than anything.
Exactly. So once again, if you're new to watching us, this is Thursday Night Blunder. It is well, it's not exactly a regular series, but every Thursday we like to have mismatched cars with mismatched tracks, all in the name of chaos and fun. Obviously, iRacing is a simulation, and so we want to simulate what happens when you do dumb stuff, I guess. Right? Sure.
Yeah.
But it's also, and hey, Ryan, I'm going to put you on screen now. It is also in the name of promotion. And what are we promoting?
Shameless promotion. We are always promoting Continental tires here on the Dinner with Racers podcast, TV show, and Thursday Night Blunder iRacing League. So if you're looking for tires to put underneath the Christmas tree or give to somebody this holiday season, please go out there, buy some Continentals, and support us, keep us going. I say this, and it's kind of a cliche joke, but you're literally keeping the show on the road.
Legit.
Because if we're not selling tires, we're not doing podcasts and TV stuff. So please continue to support us the way you are. And also tagging our sponsor, Continental, is huge. Julie Conlon from Continental reads a lot of that stuff, and we just can't do it without you. So thanks for everything you guys are doing. And hope you're having a nice holiday season.
Absolutely. So these free YouTube streams or Facebook, if you're watching, these are all because basically Continental supports us, and we like to do things for the fans, and so it all comes together in this beautiful symphony of nonsense. But anyway, so hey, Ryan, beyond so Continental is a sponsor, but it's because they sponsor a product. I'm talking about the show.
The Dinner with Racers.
The Dinner with Racers show. So tell me about that. I've never heard of that. The television or the podcast.
I know you have, because it's the bane of your existence. I mean, it's your focus professionally right now.
It is.
We have a podcast available wherever free podcasts are sold to any of these new viewers, because we have a ton of them suddenly, which is amazing. And look at that Busch GTP car. That looks awesome. We also have a Motor Trend television show that streams also on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, it is kind of a documentary style series that we do all sorts of different stuff. And we have a new show coming here in the next month or so, which will feature what we worked on throughout 2023, as well as more podcasts coming up soon. So a lot of content, as well as Thursday Night Blunder this Thursday and next Thursday as well.
Exactly. So here's what's happening tonight. So this is, like we said, this is the last chance qualifying. We have our big world final happening in 1 week's time. And then technically that world final is trailing off from last year, which we weren't able to finish. And basically what's going to happen is the top 5 from today. We wanted to have one more race just to sort of get our own swing in into the swing of things. But also we do have several new members. We know we have a lot of new fans, and so we want to do something just to sort of bring people back into the mix. So we came up with this last chance qualifying. Simple rule. Finish in the top 5. You finish in the top 5, you go to next week's final. You don't finish in the top 5, you don't go to the final. It's that simple. Go ahead.
Well, hang on.
Yep.
So all right, finish top 5, but what about drive time rules?
So here's a rule about drive time. If you can drive long enough to make it to the finish and finish in the top 5, you've cleared it.
I don't know if I like that.
Simple. I don't. And if you look at this track, Oxford Plains, we do have track limits, and that's in the form of grass and dirt on the outside of the track.
Oh, so like actual track limits.
Yeah. Like if you go off, your car in fact pays a penalty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
So, do we need to enforce some sort of arbitrary?
I mean, we can make more complicated rules that then when we realize they don't work, that's fun.
That's amazing. So we'll come back to track limits later.
Sure.
But who was that we were riding with?
I'm not sure here. So
One of the Cadillacs sport. Yeah, whoever this is right here on screen. The robot dog hood ornament. Is
I did not know that. Okay.
Oh, that's why I was losing it.
I didn't see that. But okay, no, that's simracecity.com.
I'll find them.
But no worries. So we have, speaking of which, so we have a new camera operator. We have Jonathan. Jonathan is the sort of Marco or Lee of Apex camera operators.
Right.
And he's going to be working them camera angles, showing us all the pretty pictures that you're seeing there on your stream, which, by the way, should be on YouTube or Facebook. And if you're watching on the Facebook, we unfortunately are not watching that terribly closely. So if you write comments into the Facebook feed, thank you. Please keep doing it, but we're not going to see it. However, if you're on YouTube, I believe, Ryan, you are monitoring it. And so if you have questions, if you have feedback, we're not able to see what you're able to see in terms of sound quality, video quality. So if there are issues, please let us know because we truly won't know if it's happening. But that is the place to write in. But all those pictures are provided by Apex Racing TV. And Jonathan is the guy on the mic who's a fan out living in what is not South Boston, but basically Southern Boston.
Wait, as in like Boston or as in South Boston, Virginia?
No, as in
like the Boston suburbs.
Okay.
Where RJ lives.
Where RJ lives.
That was
right out the gate.
RJ.
Right out the gate, he said he lived not too far from RJ.
Okay, so that Cadillac right there, if we can go to the hood shot, please. This, I think it's 17 car.
And then...
go for the...
So it will take a few seconds for changes to show up. Oh, yep, that's a robot dog. And then, Jonathan, if we can get names in the lower third there we go. Oh, it's Doug Waite.
Yeah, so series regular Doug Waite there, really taking a page out of, I guess our nightmares, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we are both convinced that robot dogs will be the last thing we see before we leave this earth.
And by the way, it's not conviction. I mean, at this point, I believe it's fact.
Yeah, no question.
Like, I think I shared this with you. We've discussed this. I mean, there is a video now of like 30 of them jumping in unison.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one is talking about this. Not even, Bill Lester, who has like an electrical engineering degree. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, no, it's a real fear of mine, and the fact that nothing's being done about it is.
Speaking of Bill Lester, Doug Waite has Bill Lester there. If you look at the fin, to go with the robot dog theme, Bill Lester is right there under the Cadillac logo next to the Continental. Doug Waite is sticking to the robot dogs theme. So speaking of liveries, so you will notice that we pay a lot of attention to very, very fun and intricate fan liveries that all of our fans do. And that actually does play a role in the way our races kind of turn out. And Ryan, why is that?
I don't know, Sean.
The wave arounds.
Okay.
Because, so when we get to this feature race...
I was making a joke.
Oh, I thought you didn't know. I thought you were like, I legit thought you were like, you didn't prompt me. I don't know what your prompt is. I'm like, well, I'll spell it out because this is live and we can't edit. See, normally Ryan and I are able to talk where it's like, what are you thinking? And then I can tell him because I know I can cut all that stuff out later. We can't do that here on a live feed. So what?
So the point of the liveries, obviously we're trying to promote Continental Tire in any way we can. We also want it to be fun and engaging. But the big thing is that when we have cars that go a lap down and we have a yellow, we use the livery as a way to know if you are worthy of a wave around. Exactly. So you're a lap down, you still have a chance to win, your car's in one piece, and we go to your livery and... for example, this Flying Lizard Guy Cosmo tribute, I just see a little Continental there at the bottom. But if I didn't, no wave around. So I see a lot of Continental. We might see a little bit more love for that car. So that's kind of the goal behind that, as well as promoting our sponsors. And it's fun. It's really cool to see what you guys come up with. The Busch Beer GTP car I just saw, that looks fantastic. And Busch Beer is going to be a sponsor on DWR two-time alumni Justin Marks' Trackhouse program moving forward. So we're a big fan of that.
And by the way, this Guy Cosmo livery is in tribute to Spencer Pumpelly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Who's going to be our host next week. So, and may or may not join us tonight, depending on where he's at. He's a little busy at Daytona, where I am not.
Yeah, I believe they're on track as we speak.
They're
right?
literally, one of the hopes we had, but unfortunately timing just couldn't work out, was to actually have IMSA participants, since our latest round of podcasts that went out a couple of weeks ago actually features several GTP drivers, as well as GTP drivers who have specialized in short track racing. And we thought, well, that would be awesome. However, there is literally one of the biggest tests of the year happening at Daytona right now. All of the new cars running in the IMSA series. We have some new prototypes out there, some new GT3 cars that are out there. They all have to be there this week to do basically some BOP testing, and for other teams to get there. So teams like Magnus Racing, who I'm affiliated with, drivers like Spencer Pumpelly and Andy Lally are out there testing, as well as many GTP drivers that we've currently interviewed, such as Nick Tandy, Augusto Farfus, and Felipe Albuquerque.
Now, is that test free to the participants since it's helping the series get the BOP right?
Oh, no, it's not, Ryan. It's not free. No, they have to pay to be there. I believe there's an entry fee. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure I know IMSA.
Only other question I got to ask.
Sure.
But all the cars were on track together for like a 2-day test, so it made sense financially, right?
No. No, it doesn't. But, oh well.
Folks, we have the chat room going here on YouTube. We have a ton of viewers, which is amazing. Guessing quite a few are new from our Motor Trend and Continental distribution of the stream, which is fantastic. But if you have any questions whatsoever you want to ask us about the past episodes, the current ones that just went out, what we're working on with DWR TV, anything you guys got for us, we're happy to do a little Q&A. And next week when we have a guest or two, they'll be here to do the exact same thing. So fire away with any questions in the chat room, and let's get ready for this really, really technical racetrack layout.
Exactly. Now, also joining us is our admin is back, who's been around for several years. He was fired for a brief period of time, if you'll remember, a couple years ago, but we chose to let him return. Tyler Newitt is not only adminning, but in full mid-90s IMSA kind of tribute, he's also driving. And that is Tyler Newitt. Tyler, are you there?
Hello.
Nice. Jonathan, I don't know if we can get Tyler on screen if he's on track. And let's get the names up on the lower third there. But so Tyler, you're going to drive and admin, which is not a conflict of interest at all as far as we're concerned.
I just do what you guys tell me, so
No,
that's the only conflict of interest I see.
I see. Ryan, do you have any problem with this?
No, I mean, it seems exactly how everything else I know about the sport goes.
Yeah. Oh, fair point. And,
on brand.
Anyway, so Tyler, what would you expect for tonight, since you're actually a participant right now?
Given how this practice is going, I'd say suffering.
Okay.
And carnage.
Yep.
And yeah, I think some people who are have turned a few more laps than me.
Oh, very good. All right. So
now, speaking of conflicts, you will be handling the waiver rounds. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And this livery you've gone with is a Continental scheme?
This is the livery I had, and I didn't have enough time.
So this creates what we call here in DWR a constitutional crisis.
Yeah.
Can an admin pardon himself?
I mean,
I don't know.
He technically could. But,
how can we stop him?
Man.
How could you stop him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tyler, can you run from president from jail?
How could you stop me?
Anyway, so Tyler's going to be both doing wave bys, clearing black flags if we decide it's worth clearing a black flag, and driving as well. And he will sort of be our, he didn't volunteer for this, but we're going to make him our in-race reporter since we kind of don't have any. And that's basically that. So anything going on in the chat, Ryan?
Just a bunch of, it's funny to read the comments because it's like a reunion for the fans.
Oh, cool.
You know, it's like people are like, oh, hey, good to see you. Oh, good to hear from you again. And that's pretty damn neat.
Yeah.
We get to have these little like get-togethers at the racetrack sometimes with, you know, a bunch of fans that come by or like we did a little thing at Petite where we got to talk to like 20 or 30 of them, and that was really neat. But it's cool to see the interaction in the chat room because we are kind of in this together, so I'm enjoying that. But like I said, guys, any questions you have about what we're doing and what we're going to be doing, just keep us keep the questions coming.
Exactly. And then, Jonathan, if you can, if there used to be, I don't know if there is a way to do this, the time remaining, to put that up on the board. If there isn't, no worries. But by my count, we should still have a couple of minutes remaining. So the people are just doing their practice laps right now. We will go into a qualifying session. So the format for tonight is heat racing. It's obviously such a small oval. And basically the heats are going to determine a few things here. So we will go straight into a qualifying session once this is over. And the qualifying session will be 3 laps or 5 minutes, whichever basically comes first. And the top 5 from qualifying will advance straight to the final. So that'll be the big race at the end of the whole thing. And then we're going to break it into heat races. So we're going to have 2 heat races that takes everybody outside of the top 5 and forces them to run against each other. We'll split the field in half. And basically it's a very simple rule. Finish in the top 10, you advance to the feature. And if you don't finish in the top 10, you advance to the last chance qualifier based on the car count. It's looking like everybody will advance to the feature, so we probably won't have that LCQ. So at this point, the qualifying and then the heat races are going to determine grid position. And so if you qualify in the top 5, you're not going to take part in those heat races. And if you do take part in those heat races, how you finish is going to determine how you start on the grid during the feature race. But since basically everybody's qualified for the feature race, we're not going to elaborate any further on what leads to what in the feature, because I don't want that to create any heat race manipulation. Ryan, I don't know if you're following me there, but
yeah, for sure.
So that's that. I'm sure people can figure this out. But it's a small track. It's a 5/8 of a mile, tiny oval, and so if we have 30 cars on there for the feature race, which is 70 laps, it's going to be chaos. So track position will probably be a factor.
Yeah, and just give a shout out real quick to Andrew Barca, who is helping us with some social media promotion tonight as well, and is a longtime friend of the show. He asked, why did we pick a racetrack in Maine?
Because why wouldn't you? Well, let's do this. Let's get a cockpit view if we get a chance. But basically, it's a tiny track. We knew that we wanted to do some form of GTP racing on an oval, because iRacing has done a great job over the last year to have a GTP category. So we're riding along here with Jonathan Schwartz for sort of get an idea of what's going on. But as you can see, it's a tight oval in which you basically never stop turning, so it's going to add a lot of short track oval skills and cars that are not designed for it. But Oxford Plains is very unique as a short oval. This is Oxford Plains, which is in Maine. If you notice, the wall is outside of the track limit, which means there is a berm and a runoff and a dirt area that you go off of instead of going straight into a wall. And we found that when we did testing, this was the best track for this style of racing, for one very, very simple reason. There were no Ross Chastains in this format. Something about these GTP cars and short ovals and walls meant that you could literally wall ride, even with damage on and all that. You could wall ride these cars for quite a bit before they gave up. And that doesn't make for fun racing if everybody gets to do it. And so we decided, why not have something that's got sort of a dirt edge, so that when you go off, you actually go off. And to be honest, once you get a pack of guys racing each other and they go off into the dirt, it just looks stupid. Like that, right there, like Daniel Parks just saw. So so something we noticed in practice, which I guess, GTP cars are not designed for this, is since it's all left turns, and essentially this track is just nothing but an endless left turn, the tire fall off is very, very, very significant. And so one of the big things in this race, there's going to be 2 sort of attrition factors here. Tire management is going to really show up at the end of the race. But the other thing is, of course, these cars are hybrid. And the way you regenerate these hybrid cars is by heavy braking and sort of regenerating it and setting up your KERS system, your kinetic energy recovery system, to be able to balance itself by using the brakes to recollect some of that energy. Well, on this kind of oval, you don't do that as easily. So in testing, we did find that some people who weren't watchful of it would deplete their energy, and then that would be it. So what you see in the first 5 laps may not be the same as the last 5 laps in terms of where people are at with their tires, where people are at with their KERS systems, and you name it.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're watching the feed here, you've noticed the infield has a bunch of lights that have little dirt mounds as support beams. So, in traditional fashion, if you're new to the Thursday Night Blunder, once the heat or the race or whatever ends, we generally see a crash fest. And the only thing I know about Oxford Plains is that I drove this track a few times on sims with buddies, and all we did was just send cars over those berms into the sky. It was fantastic. So
Exactly.
Plenty of action possible there. But the big note I got from walking around pit lane earlier and talking to some of the drivers in the garage area is the tire degradation has been extremely high.
Very.
And so after a couple laps, because there's no real straightaway to straighten the wheel out and cool the tires down, we're going to see a lot of cars sliding around, and whether or not that's understeer or oversteer is probably up to the driver and how they've been handling the car as well as their setup.
Exactly.
But we don't expect it just to be something that's easy to drive. And so far, when we were riding along, for example, with Tyler, he was having a little oversteer. Some of these cars we've noticed have been pushing like a dump truck. So it's not just going to be a downforce track that you can just flat it around here or ride around a lower gear. You're going to actually have to save a little bit of tires and keep yourself out of trouble.
Exactly. And the 70-lap heat race, we don't know how many yellows there will be, but I would predict there might be at least 2. You know, just a theory. But 70 laps on at this track with these tires is a lot.
Yeah, and obviously, Continental makes the best tire in the world, so that just shows you how hard this track must be and how much downforce these cars are making.
Exactly. So we have 2 minutes remaining. 2.5 minutes remaining. We're just over 2 minutes of time running, and looks like Derek Moore with a 13.5 is our top contender. But man, there's a lot of 13.5s. There's top 3 are all within the same tenth of each other, and wow, yeah. If you go all the way down from P1 to P17, everybody's within a second. So that should show you how tight it's going to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of different chassis out there, so it just shows you how well the parity is amongst the class.
Exactly.
We were riding again a few moments ago with Tyler Newitt, and he had a ton of understeering. Was kind of rim riding, maybe like rubbering in the cushion, but looked like he was just grinding those fronts down, which is going to be problematic after a long run. Exactly.
So we have just over 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. It does look like Derek Moore is still the top guy with a 13.525. And then Mr. Stewart with a 13.552. So 300ths, less than 300ths of a second are separating our top 2. And again, if you're in the top 5, you are straight to the final, straight to the feature race. So right now that is, looks like, Derek Moore, Garrett Conrath, Will Rogers, and Austin Villa are all in our top 5. So it's pretty close.
Yeah, we were just seeing some in-car from Jason Skeen, who's also a series regular. And he, again, massive understeer right around the outside, caught him out off guard.
And poor Zach Trump going off.
Yeah. Big hit there. Sean, we had a question from the chat room.
Yes.
What about fuel? Will there be pit stops for fuel, or is this a no stop unless you want?
From what I understand, we should be good on fuel. The truth is we haven't done 70 laps to find out. And so that it remains an unknown. The two things we know are going to be factors are going to be energy depletion and tire degradation. Fuel did not seem to come up in testing, but again, we never went 70 laps to really learn the hard way. And obviously the third thing just being not getting hit. We are allowing 2 resets, which means if your car is damaged beyond the point of being able to drive, you can come into the pits. And effectively, the iRacing engineers are so fast, and the mechanics that you get a brand new car. You can do that twice before you're stuck with what you got. But I have a feeling many people will use up both over the course of the race. So we will definitely, in the last 10, 20 laps, have people that just don't have car left. All right, we have about 15 seconds remaining. I'm sorry, you were saying, Ryan?
Oh, no. Just, Trevor Price asking what the preferred setup is, go loose and save the fronts. Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah, truly don't know.
I think the best bet would probably just be riding around a little bit off the pace and trying to stay out of trouble. But no one ever seems to do that in these events. So why start now?
All right, so that is it. Qualifying is over. Derek Moore is our pole sitter. So he will advance straight to the feature race, and now we're going to go directly into our first of 2 heat races. These heat races are going to be very, very short, and then we'll go straight to the feature. These heat races, if I remember, are 7 laps.
Hey, Sean, it looks like it's going to be 1 heat race and then the last chance.
Okay, so there is going to be a last chance.
From what I can tell, there's only going to be 1 heat race.
Okay, there's only 1 heat race. I have a feeling it may not be a last chance. I have a feeling this might be the lone heat race. So basically, this will determine grid positions for the feature. It'll be a 7-lap all-out sprint. And where you finish here sets you up for where you finish in the feature, or where you start, in the feature. And obviously the way we do the feature gridding will be a little bit unique, but we'll just see how this goes. So this will be our first test of racing. And again, this is not for everything. This is just a set grid position for the feature that's just going to happen in a few minutes here. And that's what we got. So let's see, what are we got? We're seeing the fan view.
Great shot from the crowd. Lots of fans showing up today.
Yeah. Not a fan of those arm positions.
What?
Nothing.
Looks like a Wins Ben Keating sort of tribute out there on the front row.
I think we'll accept that as a Ben Keating tribute from Austin Villa. I don't know if it was deliberate, but we'll accept it for now. We'll see what happens when we get to wave rounds.
It could be. I guess it's a Riley tribute if I had to guess.
Oh, that is fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So, wonder what that guy's doing.
Bill Riley.
Yeah.
He's literally at Daytona doing BOP testing.
Right, but I wonder what he's doing.
Oh, right this second. Yeah, we can call him.
You up?
I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So normally on short ovals, you do about 2 laps of warm up and then straight to it. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. There's a question in the chat about rankings for strategists.
Driver ratings for strategists?
Yeah, are strategists ranked as arbitrarily as drivers are?
In a way, yes, because it's very arbitrary if you're good.
Okay.
I mean, they literally will let anybody do it. You could do PR and all of a sudden get hired to do strategy. So it's already arbitrary, so they may as well. Sure. But we're going green. And
all right,
pace car's off.
Pace car's in.
Into the first corner. We have 7 laps to see. Now, again, they're not going to worry about tire deck here, so we'll just see. This is not chaos. They are driving way too
clean. It's
like
a real race. I don't like it.
No, but we got John Cantu in P2. John Cantu knows the deal.
Yeah, he's running nice there on the bottom. Gets a little bit loose in, and now he's dropped back a few spots, it looks like. But this is like a normal race. I don't get it.
Well, we'll see what happens when we get more cars on there. But all right, so
I think it's the degradation in the long run.
Yeah.
When we go to the main, that'll really play a factor here. But these guys aren't saving anything, right? Oh, we got a car.
Now we have some chaos. I don't know who that was. Is that? I think we'll need to see names. So that is John Trainer. I believe he's relatively new to our series. So, and we have chaos everywhere now. This is what we expected in this 7-lap feature. Derek Suter still 2/10 up on everybody. So he's slowly walking away. Jared Wakefield, P2. But then it becomes a really tight fight from third on back.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Newitt's just outside of the top 5 looking in here, trying to get up to him. He's about a second back off of Reimer. But top 5 separated by about a second, so it's still anybody's game here as we come up to the final lap.
We have 1 lap to go. Derek Suter looking to win his heat as we grid the rest. There is Tyler Newitt in P6. That's our admin, and he's just sort of getting a feel. Now, he's gotten 0 practice leading up to this. His run in practice earlier was his first time in the car. Not bad at all, Tyler. And go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like dealing with a little bit of power down oversteer there, like just coming off the corner. So definitely even on a 7-8 lap run, it's getting a little bit tricky to drive these things.
And Derek Suter will take the win. He is our lone heat race winner to grid us, of course, for the big feature race coming up here. So iRacing software is a little bit strange in terms of when they run LCQs and when they don't. It kind of depends on the car count. Oh, it looks like
I'm showing we're going to have an LCQ with 8 cars going to the feature.
Okay. Does that mean everybody?
I have no idea.
Neither do I. Well, we'll find out. Hey, you guys want the? You know what? We'll wait. We'll wait until we get to the feature. But we do have to play the national anthem at some point.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Tyler, you are of the opinion this is an LCQ.
Yes,
and
it is everybody who is going to the feature.
Okay, so it's top 8. So the top 8 advance, of which there are 8 cars.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll see who makes it.
Yeah, this is on brand.
Yeah.
The software is telling me it says race consolation. So.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. So some people are getting a lot of racing.
So this race really matters.
Yeah, this is, and it's a longer one too. I think this one's 10 laps.
really dumb, this would be the race to do it in. Get it out of your system.
Yep. In fact, you could do something so dumb, we may as well declare it that our feature is inverted.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's last is on pole.
Right.
So there's virtually no incentive to do well here. The last place car here is going to be on pole.
All right. Davis Trask asks if we have transformers in the field here. Actually, it says, do we have transformers in the infield? I don't know that we have any, period, because the last time I saw anything about transformers, it was non-existent.
Yeah. When there's Transformers race cars announced, it does not mean that they're necessarily on track.
Yeah. So hard to say, not knowing.
Yeah, not a clue.
We've had a couple of requests to be flag corner workers and flaggers for the next event, so we'll have to get like a sign-up sheet going online.
Yeah, we can do that. Hey, if you play iRacing or simulate on iRacing, I don't know what the proper term is anymore, and you do want to participate in our World Final, we are not taking new drivers because it's just going to be the top 5 from this event to advance plus previous rounds, but we might be in need of some other form of driving participation. We call them ramps. I don't have a problem putting that out there. If you don't mind driving a Nissan GTP car backwards. Who have we got there? There we go. Doug Waite doing his best to finish last. He's off on the right hook.
Doug Waite understood the situation.
He understood the mission.
That was fantastic there. Or he might have gotten run off the road by a robot dog. I mean, anything's possible here.
Absolutely. So this will be an interesting race for last. Doug Waite,
Yeah.
currently 1 lap down, and then is it Holden Parks, I believe, is also a lap down. All right, we're going to see a replay here of Doug Waite. Let's see what happens.
Yes. Side by side looks like.
I think he just did it. I think he just did it on his own.
Yeah, that wasn't even on purpose. That was just lit up the rears, looped the thing around, and then got airborne over the dirt berm that's on the infield.
I love that this is actually a real track with dirt berms.
I was going to
keeping
say,
you from a light pole.
Has anyone seen these in real life recently? Like, is it still there?
So I did a Google. That's amazing. So literal like modifieds and short track cars can run into a light pole, and there's a mound of dirt keeping them from it.
Yeah,
yes, one of the biggest late model races is up there in the summer.
Well, I believe that, but like the fact that this is
but
the best we can do.
They know it's 2023, right?
Right.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a FIA grade 3?
Grade 2.
Yeah. Grade Jamaica.
H. Yeah.
Remember when we went to a racetrack in Jamaica and in the middle of one of the corners was a tethered cow?
Yes, I do.
Yes, not a free roaming cow. He was told he has to stay there in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, he was like, "Give me a chance to miss one of these things."
Yeah.
Like, no,
you stay here.
Yeah. So,
white flag.
Comments.
Go ahead.
White flag here. A couple comments about Joey Hand being proud of some of these off-track excursions. I agree. I think he would be.
Yeah.
You know, he probably did it better, but I think he'd be impressed.
Now I have a frozen screen.
It just froze on me.
Okay, so that is not us. Okay, I mean it is us, but it's not. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna
pivot.
We're gonna pivot. We're gonna pretend like this is all planned, and I'm feeling patriotic. Are you feeling patriotic?
Every day.
Every day. You know there are. I can't think of anything funny. I'm too busy trying to cue it up here. Oh, and black screens. Okay, so I love America, and so does Paul Decal Kelly.
Okay. Hang on.
Say, can you see?
Start over.
By the dawn's early light. Okay, we got the dawn's early light on now?
Yep. Say, can you see? By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red and glare. The bombs bursting in air. They prove through the night that our flag is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner. It's waving. O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Play ball! Oh, wrong sport. Sorry, guys.
The following images were generated entirely from Adobe Firefly, an AI-based image creator.
I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. Home to you.
Okay. Hang on.
Say, can you see
Start over.
by the dawn's early light? Okay, we got the dawn's early light on now?
Yep. Say, can you say by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. They prove through the night that our flag is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner. It's waving. O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Play ball! Oh, wrong sport. Sorry, guys.
All right, after a little bit of a technical delay, we are back, but you've missed nothing. We have cars on the grid. This is the feature. This is the last chance qualifying here for Thursday Night Blunder. We have GTP cars at Oxford Plains, and the top 5 will advance to next week's World Final. This is Sean Heckman. Along with me is... Who are you?
Ryan Eversley?
Yeah, sure.
I think.
And
Probably.
we're about to see a race unfold. So 70 laps, inverted from the qualifying and heat racing that we just watched. And we'll just see what happens. Who you got?
I think Decal already won.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the real winner are the fans.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And Continental.
And got them. So 2 pace laps here, going to get going green. Like we saw in that last one, a couple of people that weren't trying to have big offs and be fun, just looping the thing and backing it over those berms. So unlike in some races where you get a little crossed up and you might have a little harmless spin, here it could end up putting you in the air. So pretty remarkable considering the top speed's about 115 miles an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. So 70 laps. Tire degradation is going to be a thing.
We're green.
Yeah, we are green. Sure, we'll see some yellows. We'll decide that.
Yeah, it looks like a little contact there on the outside of turn 2, but decent little lead taken off here. And we have contact in 4
And who is that? Is that Kenneth Parcher? That is Kenneth Parcher. But he's going to... Oh, there we go. Now we're starting to see what we expected.
Sorry, Kenneth, having a little issue there and running like 3 wide around this tiny little track. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but here we go. So, good to see that somebody, sorry, I forgot which name it was, but somebody actually met Decal at Sebring over Thanksgiving. So that's fantastic. We have Will Rogers in the field tonight. Will is a professional racer himself and doing a great job in the Toyota GR Cup Series as well as the Xfinity Series in NASCAR. So badass little racer, and he's also been in our series quite a few times. But anytime I see Will Rogers, I'm always cheering for him, except for when he's in our series because I'm impartial.
Exactly. All right, so Doug Waite, who looked very strong earlier today, remains out front. He's got a 1.1 second lead, which is pretty impressive. Now, one thing we haven't talked about in practice, and right now I'm not seeing a reason to execute this, but we do have the snipe potential. Where if for some reason somebody is out of line and we decide that maybe they need to be taken out, we do have a best snipe potential to maybe reward somebody another advancement opportunity to the World Final. But that comes if we declare a snipe. If we decide somebody needs to be taken out, that's normally reserved for Josh Chin, who does not seem to be here tonight.
Which is unfortunate.
It is, because I would have loved to see him get taken out. Oh, and Will Rogers. Commenter's curse, right?
Yep. Now, Will, go ahead. It looks like he's running in like a factor stock livery that comes from the game, and traditionally he kind of shows up at the last second, hops in with it. So while that won't help him with a waiver round, I give him a little bit of a pass for that one reason.
Absolutely, that he's able to jump in and just be that quick. So we are looking at Jason Skeen with his Guy Cosmo tribute livery. Again, that is in honor of Spencer Pumpelly, who's going to be our one of our guest hosts next week. Spencer was supposed to be a guest host at one of our events last year, and then we forgot.
You know, it's speaking of snipes, I just read about this earlier today, and it deserves a shout out, and it's totally irrelevant to what we're talking about. But, we got a text from Spencer Pumpelly. Let's see what he has to say real quick. Ruining my snipe. He's in the Zoom lobby. We've got a guess.
All right. Let's get some Spencer Pumpelly on here.
We will come back to that sniper thing later, though. Remind me, somebody in the chat room, once Spence leaves.
All right. We'll give it a minute here, and then we'll welcome Spencer Pumpelly. He's been admitted. It's going to take him a minute. He's in his hotel room.
Yeah, wow.
I thought he was like on a timing stand at.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. And that's like full-on hotel room. Is your audio is off? I don't know if it's not hooked up yet, Spencer. But
there we go.
There we go.
Hey!
There's Spencer. All right, let's put him on the air. Hold on 1 second, Spencer. You're about to be on camera here.
Cool.
And there he is, Spencer Pumpelly. Welcome. So you're at Daytona right now.
Yes, I am. In fact, I'm at my hotel room, and you can see the beautiful Daytona Christmas lights out my window there.
Nice.
Pretty cool stuff, huh?
That's so I legit thought you'd be on a timing stand. Shouldn't you be at the track right now?
I should, but unfortunately Andy Lally likes to wreck into old guys, so we're done for the night.
Oh.
Whoa!
Okay, I haven't talked to anybody.
We've got news. We've got breaking news.
Yeah, wait. So what happened? This is the first I'm hearing about this. Go on.
Screw you, John DeGeese. We got it.
It was I guess he and some older guy in a Ferrari got into a little squabble.
At the
and it was enough to rip off the dive plane and put a huge slash in the front of our brand new Evo Kit front bumper.
Now, so let's go back a step. So we haven't really talked about what Magnus is going through right now, but Magnus Racing, who you're driving for this year in the endurance races, they are racing the...
There's scoop number 2 for the night.
They are...
We got scoops, baby. We got scoops.
So they are racing the Aston Martin Vantage GT3, of which this year there's a new what's called Evo Kit. So it's basically a very updated version of the car that you've raced the last couple of years. And this is the first chance you guys have had to test it and just kind of learn about it, right?
Yes. In fact, today was the first day it's been on track with the new Evo parts. So it's the same car we had. It's just a bunch of new parts.
Right.
And apparently the parts make it a little bit different. So, yeah, this is the first time. But I'm actually only testing tomorrow because you don't need 3 guys standing around all day. So I'm going to do some driving tomorrow. They drove it a little bit today. Got some some positive feedback from it. I think. I mean, you never really get positive feedback from Andy. It's kind of like, it's it sucks, sucks. But he seemed a little bit less pessimistic than normal. So hopefully that's good.
Until he wrecked it.
Well,
yeah.
Well, hey, you know what, Spence? Does it look like we have debris on track?
Yeah, I think we definitely. I see a cigarette butt.
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually still smoking.
All right. I think we're going yellow.
Have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
there's definitely a half of a peanut shell from the stands.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
So we should go yellow. Okay, we are.
Yeah.
All right. So we're not sure what kind of time we have with Spence. So I figure we're getting already up to lap 27. Race is going to go by fast. It looked like a lot of debris on track. Spence saw the peanut shell. We can't have that. And we'll have Spence help us with the wave around process. So looks like we already have 11th place back is already laps down. So plenty of cars that need help.
So Spence, do you know this process that we're doing?
Not familiar, no.
Okay, so our wave around. So as you know, in your level of racing at IMSA, you get a wave around depending on where you're at on track against sort of the leaders and the pace car and stuff like that. Here, it's just if we like your livery. You get a wave around, and if you're a lap down and we like your livery, then we let you go. So
let's do it.
Most of our liveries, we look for DWR tributes of some sort, whether it be Continental or previous guests or you name it. So this is just a Garrett Conrath plain old Wayne Taylor racing livery. We have had
Continental like a big DWR thing.
It's a little bit. We have had the Taylors on our show.
Well played.
So Spence, what do you think? Should Garrett advance? Should he get a wave around?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, wave by.
Garrett Conrath in the number 11 gets a wave around. Garrett Conrath in the number 11 gets a wave around. We'll move on to the next car. And it does take a few seconds for Jonathan to react here.
Ooh.
Okay, so Travis Wall in the...
I love the juxtaposition of the high-tech DP and then the low-rent Deep South grocery store Piggly Wiggly. So, yes.
Okay, so Travis Wall in the number 23 gets to advance. Travis Wall in the 23 gets a wave around. And we will move on. And then... all right, Austin Villa. That looks like a wins tribute. We've had, of course, both Bill Riley and Ben Keating on.
I mean, I felt like the Wins car was a copy of the Wins car from when my dad was racing.
What
and
a
this is
Spencer
a
answer.
copy.
Uh-huh.
So
on brand.
Yep, you're the boss.
Yeah.
You tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be you.
So is he getting a wave around or not? We can't be here all night. So no. Austin Villa does not get a wave around, according to Spencer Pumpelly. Okay, that's on Spencer, Austin. That's on Spencer.
That's also some bad blood. Last time I wrecked in the 24, I got hit by the car with the Wins livery.
I got you.
There you go.
So this is Tyler
The
Newitt.
whole rest of the race without a rear deck lid.
So this is this is our constitutional crisis right here. Tyler is our admin. He's the guy giving the wave arounds. He did not do a DWR livery, but he just joined. So can the admin wave around himself?
Argument? What's he arguing here?
That he's admin for us for free for 2 years.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's awesome. But if it's a livery contest, no. If you guys feel like, you needed to keep the peace, I'd say send them.
I'm all for the constitutional crisis. I say no.
Okay. The livery's not doing it for me. So.
Okay, no wave around for Tyler Newitt. Let's see what he does.
No, he's wrecking anyway. So.
Okay, next back.
And guys, if you have any questions for Spencer in the chat room, please fire away and I'll ask him.
Jared Wakefield in the number 72. He's got both Robot Dog on the profile as well as a little Nick Tandy for NASCAR tribute on the side pod there. That's Tandy Knives.
Oh, wow.
Tandy Knives. That is a reference to our podcast.
It gets a no for beauty, but for relevance, I say
yes.
Send
So
it.
Jared Wakefield in the 72 gets a wave around. Jared Wakefield in the 72 gets a wave around. We'll wait for the end. It takes a few seconds to process here. All right, Brian Stilley. Spence?
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
Looks great.
Brian Stilley in the 33 gets a wave around, and we'll just sort of roll through everybody here. Brian Stilley in the 33 gets a wave around. We'll move to the next one, and we'll be here all night, so let's
I think we only have
here.
2 left.
Jonathan Schwartz.
Oh, yeah.
And 2, and you might have Rogers.
If he's a good driver, I say no.
Nope.
No, Jonathan Schwartz does not get it. John Cantu.
Ooh. I like that one. Send it.
Okay, John Cantu in the 76 gets a wave around. John Cantu in the 76 gets a wave around.
Last one.
Last one. All right, we're back to Tyler.
Actually, I
And
lied.
this is Will Rogers, who literally probably just jumped in and went. He's, you may have
There's a
even
couple
raced with
more,
him in the
I lied.
past. Okay. What do you think,
Yeah,
Will?
I mean, it looks like the BMW, but
So is that a no?
that's a no.
All right.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
No Will Rogers. Sorry, Will. Ben
All right.
Fuller here in the Continental, number 25.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Okay,
Send
Ben
it.
Fuller in the
Yeah.
25. Benjamin Fuller in the 25
That's
gets
a
a
good
wave
looking car,
around.
Actually, like
Yeah.
I want that to
Yeah,
be
it
a
did
real
look
car
good.
on the track. Number
Yeah.
25,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
no. So Zach Lewis does not get a
Yeah.
wave around. Sorry, Zach.
I mean,
I don't know.
you guys
This
are
guy
losing fans here by the minute.
That's all right. We do everything we can.
Hey,
Yeah.
Pumpelly, you didn't give me a wave around.
Yeah,
I
all
worked
right.
on that dinosaur.
Okay,
yeah.
how many more are we doing? We got some questions from fans.
I think this is the last one here.
Oh, we got one more. Okay.
He's
one
in the
more.
pits here.
Oh,
Or
okay.
he's dead.
Is he dead? If he's dead, we'll just move on.
That's
These
it.
guys are getting bored driving
Yeah.
around. They're yellow anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
37.
we're already
That's
halfway
like-
through. So, and we probably have one more yellow. So,
We
Yeah.
need to go green.
yep. All right, we can not prolong this any further.
Okay. And in the meantime, question for Spencer: have you ever been to Gatlinburg?
Yeah, actually, I've flown over Gatlinburg. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I love helicopters. Been flying for a while, and the flight school I'm with called me up the other day and said, "Hey, we got to go up to Gatlinburg to pick up a helicopter. You want to tag along?" And so I flew up there with two other guys that worked for the flight school and a guy who's getting his working on his private. And then we landed, and then me and one of the guys flew that chopper back when they picked up the one that just got out of a huge overhaul. So it was cool, but I've never actually been anywhere but the airport. But I flew over it and flew to it. Great area, looked pretty cool. We flew over Dolly World, which seems awesome. So
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's on the list. I mean, Dolly's awesome because country music, rock.
I
back
love
then.
Dolly Parton's the shit.
Yeah, I mean, she can do no wrong. Even at a Tennessee game, singing
Yeah.
Rocky Top, I was still
Yeah.
thought she was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I'll give her
killer.
a pass. So yes, I have.
Question can we get another Andy Lally impression from Spence?
No.
Okay, we are back to green. We still have more questions, but we are back to green. So action is happening out on track. Spence, until the incident this evening, how has the new, as you call it, Evo kit? I say Evo, but you say Evo.
Is
How
it Evo? Is
the-
it Evo? Is it
I don't know.
evolution or evolution?
I'm not.
It's not the theory of evolution, is it? It's a theory of evolution. So it's an Evo kit.
Okay.
Right? Or is it
How
Evo
is
kit?
how is the kit?
Well, if you'd been listening earlier, I haven't actually driven it. Andy
But
is.
your teammate has. Oh, right.
That
That's
was
a good
me being
point. Good point.
condescending right
Good
there.
point. Good point. There's no telling until. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Okay. Another
so
question for you.
Andy seems pretty positive about it, and John seemed pretty happy with it. He said it was more than just felt like more than just a setup change. Actually, felt a little bit more, I don't know, friendly. Probably the best
Okay.
word.
Oh, Daniel Parks with a huge crash.
Yeah. Huge. Oh, we got cars all over the place
Yeah.
here. Missing front, rear bumpers. Okay.
So I guess
Not great.
With 24 laps remaining, I guess the question is, do you think we'll have another yellow?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of debris on track right now. Is it possible to do a quick yellow to clean that up?
I might suggest waiting.
I heard debris, so there's a yellow.
Oh, there's a yellow. Okay.
quick
Okay.
yellow.
Well, then
I
we're
see
yellow.
my screen and my glasses. You guys see
I mean, I saw lots
Yeah,
of debris
yeah.
on the racetrack and made a race control decision.
That is. Oh, wow.
Huge
Daniel
hit.
Parks, we hope he's okay.
Huge hit.
I like how the flagman didn't even flinch.
So, just for the sake of understanding time, how many cars a lap down would you say there are?
It looks like 3.
A lot.
I'd say 3, and then everyone else is like 2.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 4.
Let's just go. I see 4 cars total that are between 1 and 2 laps down.
Yeah.
Let's go full. I'm too tired to think of his name. Let's just do the 1 and 2 lap down cars.
Full Barfield.
Full Massey.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, so
we'll just do so. Okay, what do you think of Art Reimer here, Spence?
Send it.
Plain but on point, so send him.
Art Reimer in the number 8. I think he's the
49 or
I don't know what
49.
he is. Oh, 49.
49.
Okay.
Yeah,
49.
yeah.
49. All right. Austin
Yeah,
Villa
send
again.
him this time.
Oh,
I
now you're
thought
going to
that-
give him a lap back. So Austin
give him a
Villa
lap,
in the
give him
12 gets a lap
He didn't
back.
hit me, Daytona. It was somebody else.
These are the 2 lap downs.
Okay. And what about the 1 lap down, guys?
We just did the 1 lap.
Oh, we did. Okay. Oh, these are the 2 lap. I got you. Oh, look at this. So just to point it out, Lance Snyder has a special livery. So we're going to open this up over online as well. But
Can we
go ahead.
Can we give him 2 laps back?
You can. So
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll give
2
Lance
laps.
Snyder in the 75 2 laps back. And Spence, obviously, this is going to show up later. We are going to have a livery competition where Spencer's going to decide his favorite livery overall. We probably won't do it tonight. We'll be a little more scrutinous because we did him dirty a couple of races ago, and so we're letting some sorry Spencer tributes get people into the race next week. All right,
So we are under 10 laps here to the checker.
19 actually.
Oh, sorry, it's hard to see on my screen.
Yeah. No, it's 51 of 70. So
copy. I thought it's 61 there.
All
Okay. We got a question for Spence while we're doing these yellows. Are the kids pursuing music in school?
Jared Wakefield
yes
does
and
get
no.
a wave by. Hold on, let me interrupt.
Yes.
Jared Wakefield gets a wave around in the 1272, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. They're pursuing music in and out of school. Ryder is doing saxophone in school as part of his school band. Parker is not quite. They start that in 4th grade, and she's in 3rd grade now. But they're both doing independent lessons where Ryder's taking guitar lessons, and then also he plays with a band that the people at the music school kind of curate or put on. And they just played last weekend. Ryan came to the show. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And he's turning into quite the little front man with his little red Fender. And then Parker's playing piano. She has her recital on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to that. But she's been practicing a lot and playing very well. So they are both pursuing it in and out of school, and hopefully that's something that stays with them for life. I wish I did it when I was that age. I didn't. Now I can kind of bang through some songs on the piano, and
we are
pick my way
green
around the guitar for a little bit. But they're learning real music and not just how to copy people on YouTube like me.
And we are green with now 16 laps remaining. We already have cars off. What I don't know is if we'll have one more yellow or if we'll just stay green to the end. I'm inclined to think we stay green to the end, but there's only 8 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and that looked like Tyler Newitt, our admin, getting into it with Art Reimer there as they went off in turn 3 there. So a little bit of a argy-bargy already happening. Spence, we were wondering if you think we could get Ryder to do the national anthem for us on his guitar, or just play it, alongside you for our next one of these races.
Yeah, I think we can actually.
Okay.
I think we can.
We got 6 days.
Yeah, I will put him on learning it, and I bet he can get it knocked out.
Nice. Okay, so 12 laps remain. 12 laps remain. And so, Spencer, you're on track tomorrow. Obviously, you've gotten feedback from Andy and John Potter on just how everything is going. So what do you look for in a test like this with the first time in a car?
Well, we got a couple new things. So, as much as we know that car and as well as we know Daytona, a lot of it seems kind of same. But when you throw the new Evo kit and a brand new tire for everyone in class, there's certainly things that you want to learn kind of the nature of all of them. So, what's the tire like? How does it warm up? What's the difference between, double stinting and going out on warmer but used tires versus maybe, throwing on a set of new tires, which might be better, but might take 3 or 4 painfully slow laps to get warm. And then how does the new car respond to the same changes that we used to make? Is it similar? Some of the suspension stuff is completely different in its kind of kinematics is the term I would use. So, sometimes, you go to a spring rate change and, if the roll center is high, it'll squish the spring a lot, but you up the roll center and it doesn't quite move the suspension as much. So you might need to do double the change to make the same feel. So we're just kind of going through paces like that, just trying to get a handle on what we have got now.
Okay, we have,
and then a little bit of testing on the weekend.
This is for the lead with 6 laps to go. John Trader and Baden Stewart have just taken each other out.
Oh,
and
wow.
we will have a new
They're
leader,
still
Derek
side by
Suter.
side.
They're still
We're
going for it.
Still racing here.
We have 5 laps to go. Derek Suter is now your new leader after Baden Stewart goes off. So that's Derek Suter right there in the yellow Porsche 963, and now it looks like he's, I believe, is that Jeremy Lines, 2.5 seconds back. That is lap traffic that's right behind Derek there. So with a 2.5 second lead and only 4 laps remaining, that's a good gap. And again, Derek's done nothing wrong, so I don't see any reason to snipe. Do you?
I guess it's up to the chat room, but we got a snipe request right away.
Do we want a Derek Suter snipe? All right.
Yeah.
We'll put it out there. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, Derek's the snipe leader.
Okay. Do you want our drivers to take out Derek Suter and give a win to somebody who takes him out? We got 2 laps. Yes or no? What do you think, Spence?
No.
No.
Spence says
Spence
no.
says
The
no.
room says yes.
Good to go.
So Mark Bolster says no. Penske 369 snipe. Alan Space says no. We got a lot going on.
All right, Derek. We'll let him pass. We'll let him go.
Well, or they won't.
All right, guys. Any more questions? Or?
All right, well, we're a white flag. Oh no! He's taken out on his own. I don't even. Is Jeremy Lines? I think Jeremy Lines is the leader now. I think
I'm going to let you guys get back to this finish here.
We're on the white flag. Jeremy Lines. It looks like he's now leading by 3.2 seconds. So it's looking good in the Busch car. It's going to be Jeremy Lines. He is going to take the win. He's going to advance to the World Final, as is Baden Stewart, John Trainer, Derek Suter, and John Schwartz.
We have one last question for you, Spence, and it relates to Baden Stewart, our second place finisher. Dallas Breeze writes that he took Baden Stewart to Petit Le Mans this year for the first time, gave him the choice of the Dawsonville pool room, or the Claremont Lounge, and he chose the pool room. Was that the correct choice?
So there's 2 things that the Dawsonville pool room doesn't have that Claremont does. And one of them is alcohol.
That would be 3, really.
And the other, you just got to go to find out,
Yep.
And so I'd say Claremont was definitely the wrong choice. But there's some history at the Dawsonville pool room too. So, but there's history at the Claremont as well. Lots of history. It's all duct taped to the bar.
Awesome. Well, Spencer, thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your testing schedule. Give our best to Andy Lally, and we will see you soon.
Yeah. Are we gonna see you next week?
Yeah, that was the original plan, I think.
Yes,
so
it is.
This was just like a stop in and say, hey, this is a warm up for next week when I will definitely be back.
Depending on Guy's availability.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, assuming you guys don't call Guy Cosmo in the meantime.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.
All right. Well, pretty good adventure there. Jeremy Lines taking the win here.
Yeah,
what do you think?
we were talking about sniper stuff earlier. I wanted to bring this up just because when I heard sniper, I thought, oh, this really cool thing happened this week. For the first time in history, a female soldier, Sergeant Mayshul Hay, Cavalry Scout with the 173rd Airborne Brigade, completed sniper school.
That is very cool.
That is badass.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about snipers, there you go. Pretty neat. First female sniper to pass sniper school in the U.S. military. That is kick-ass. All right. So, well, that was a calamity at the end. Great having Spencer join us, and hopefully he'll be able to come back next week as well. Interesting that his choice of liveries, he was pretty adamant about that wins car the first time around.
Yeah. So if he's our host for next week at the World Final and you are deciding what you want to do for your World Final livery, where the same rules will apply, best to know Spencer's sensibilities. So you might want to do some research on what liveries in the past have pissed Spencer off, because that might play a role.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Or you could double down on it.
Yeah.
And go try to find like the worst ones that he's ever had to race against or take them out or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Who was it that took him out in the ARCA race?
Oh, I don't remember. His most recent ire, and I don't think he'd have a problem with me saying the name just because he was mad for about all 12 hours of Petit or 10.
Yeah.
Hold on. Excuse me.
Yeah.
What the heck happened to me? Hold on.
It's
live. I can't edit. It who's Young Dynan? Is it Michael Dynan?
Michael Dynan.
Michael Dynan. Yeah, Michael Dynan and Spence did not agree on space during a Petit Le Mans. No real incidents, no real fallout came as a result, but Spence had to take some very evasive action. And I know this because a stint at Petite is about 57 minutes.
Oh, and you had to hear about it for 57
I believe I heard about it for 56 and a half minutes.
Copy that.
Like, did you say something? Yeah, we wrote it in. Okay, but did you actually do it? Yes, we wrote it in. We'll see. Okay, well, what did they say?
Yeah.
We're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got to tell me. Yeah, just how about you drive?
Yeah. Copy that.
56 minutes. By the way, he got a warning.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so,
great. That did it.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our main calamity at the end. That was really good. I told people on Twitter I would tell them what series I'm racing in next year.
Oh, well, then let's go full screen on you then. Okay, we're full screen on you.
And because I guess I'll tweet this later too. I can't really give any details yet. We haven't put pen to paper, but I've got a pretty good understanding of what I'm doing. But I'll be in the SRO series full time. And as of right now, nothing in IMSA. Not that I don't want to be. I haven't honestly tried for anything outside of like a few phone calls. But I'll be full time in the SRO series and working with someone or a group that I really like with a good program. So I'm probably the happiest I've been in the off season in a couple of years. And once it all comes out and we get everything finalized, I think it'll be well received. But I'm happy. Got something cool we're working on. So yeah, should be good. But SRO full time, as well as more Dinner with Racers. We've got our project for next year already lined up that we're excited about, and you and I are going to get on the road not too long from now to get going on that.
Yeah, we got that. We got some podcasts coming up in January. We got some video stuff coming out sometime around February, I would suggest, late February maybe. And we'll just see what happens. But meanwhile, we got a world final next week. It is not public, but it is known within our series. We will return to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll do the full oval, and it will be jumpy trucks, the Pro 4 trucks, jumping over them Nissan GTP ramps. I don't know what the final calculations are, but it'll be somewhere around 40 trucks that are qualified. How many show up for the race, I don't know. And then, whatever dozen number of ramps that we can gather. If you are in iRacing and interested in participating, we will not take new members for the World Final for the racing part. But if you do want to be a ramp, if you want to help launch Pro 4 trucks, we'd love to have you. Go ahead and email my assistant, Natasha. That is Natasha at dinnerwithracers.com. And she will field those requests and kind of pass it on, because we need about a dozen people to play ramps, and our boy Tyler Newitt will take on those duties. Tyler, you still around?
I sure am.
And how was the race, first of all, for you?
It went bad.
Okay, good.
I used all my resets.
Oh, okay. So were you dead by the end?
I sure was.
Nice. Okay. and what are you expecting for next week at Indy?
I'm expecting to launch some Pro 4 trucks. It's been my my favorite duty as race control in the past, and can't wait to do more.
Awesome. Okay. And before we sign off, we should interview the winner. Here's how bad I am with my fatigue level and doing all the stuff I do. Did Derek win?
No, Jeremy Lyons.
Okay, well, Jeremy's not in our waiting room. So, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay, let's get our winner in. Let's get him on. Let's do some Jeremy Lyons conversation, and then we will get on with our Thursdays. So, Jeremy's slowly getting admitted. Let's wait till Jeremy, can you hear us? Okay, it's good TV.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, we have no video, we have no audio. Well, what do you think Jeremy would say if he could talk, Ryan?
That was pretty sweet. I'm awesome. My name sounds like Jeremy Irons, which is what I thought you said the first time, which would have been a whole different interview.
I would love to have Jeremy Irons on Thursday.
Jeremy Irons on here would be awesome.
Yeah, but only on this, not our TV show, just Thursday Night Blunder.
No, yeah. We can't afford we can't make his rate for TV, but we can afford his cameo.
He's like, I'll be on Discord.
Yeah.
Because SAG hasn't figured that out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, great hearing from Jeremy.
All right.
He says his mic is not working, so or not working yet. So
okay.
He's messing with it. But if you have any other questions for us before we get out of here, Sean and I are happy to go down the podcast that we just did with you that came out a few weeks ago, and we got more coming out here relatively soon.
Yeah.
And
just a few days.
Yeah, hope you guys are remembering that we can't do this without Continental, and you've been so supportive. Just keep that going for us, and we might be able to give away a set of tires coming into this final race next week.
We might. We got a new round of enthusiasm from our sort of account supervisor, Julie Conlon, who took a close look at the social media today and was just blown away with our fan response, and was like, well, let's do more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
in the chat, somebody's requesting we interview Baden Stewart. I don't know if he's in the.
He is. Should we put it? Okay, well, we can do that. We'll give him a minute here. All right. So I've admitted him. We'll see how long it takes.
Yeah. Somebody asked me in the chat if I'm going to Barber. I will be going to Barber Motorsports Park, which is great because it's 2 hours from home. So we're connecting with Baden here, and hopefully we have him on the line.
Baden, you there? No, he's not. He's still connecting, unless I'm doing something wrong. I don't see what I would be because you're working just fine.
Yeah, we got Spence in. So.
Hello.
Nope. There we go. Is that Baden?
Hey!
Baden, are you
No,
audio
this is
only?
Jeremy.
Oh, there's Jeremy. Okay. Well, we got Jeremy and we
Hey.
got Baden. Okay. So Jeremy, looks like we got audio but no picture. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So tell us about the adventure you had for the last 70 laps.
That was stressful. Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
Good job on the track and the cars. It was a complete mismatch. Didn't want to turn, burning up front tires, but Busch Beer got me there.
Nice.
So.
Now, why the Busch Beer livery? What's the significance for you?
Well, truthfully, I'm usually pretty dedicated to getting a dedicated Dinner with Racers livery out, but didn't have time this week because life. So this is one that I run all the time because me and my buddies like to get together and drink Busch Beer, and it's just always been a thing.
Well,
and
Busch
it
Beer,
looks really good on a NASCAR.
Oh yeah, and Busch Beer is going to be a sponsor for Trackhouse Racing moving forward, which our good friend Justin Marks owns. So when I saw that, I thought maybe that was the tribute, but either way, it looks great. And
I totally
nice
lucked
job.
into that.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, fake it till you make it. You're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Any other sponsors you want to thank from the big win today?
Thank you guys, Dinner with Racers, for putting this on. It's been a hell of a time from beginning to now. And Johnny's Pub here in Huntington Beach, they help fuel the fire. And other than that, it's
how were the tires, Jeremy Lyons?
Oh, the Continental tires stuck it. I mean, without
Good.
those, we would have just been off in the grass like those other guys. I guess they were running,
Something
Goodyears
else.
or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what they were doing.
Appreciate
Awesome job. Thanks for coming out, and congrats on the win. Hopefully we get to see you next week.
Thank you. I will be there.
Cool. Look forward to it. All right. So Baden Stewart is in our thing here, but
I'm excited if we can get him on the mic here because in the chat there's a lot of people that are nervous about this. So what are we about to walk into?
I've got you guys now. If you got me,
we got you. So why should we be nervous to talk to you?
I don't know. I think everybody's just I don't know. They're just spreading rumors. They're spreading lies.
You got a lot to say?
I would prefer if you guys, since I ran second to Porsche, if you could get the Steve McQueen thing from the end of Le Mans.
Yeah.
The finger thing. If you get that up, I would greatly appreciate that.
Look at him producing.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for putting that on. The Continental tires, they were real good today. Them Continental tires, they stuck good. I abused them a little more than I should have at the end. Things got dicey there. But that was all in all pretty fun. Got to thank some sponsors. G0, that's our only sponsor. I was told that I would get $10 if it made it on the broadcast. So,
okay.
So,
yeah.
I basically bronze. Pretty big deal here.
Yeah.
I got to thank James and Kyle for spotting. They helped me get through this. We had a full operation. We were up late last night, engineering debriefs and everything, getting this thing dialed in for today. It's a lot of work from everybody, but couldn't have done it without them. All the guys back at the shop in Stuttgart really made this deal happen today. A lot of fun. Shame what happened there at the end, but I'll take a P2 all day long.
Very good. Now you're
Happy with that.
pretty new to our league. What brought you here?
I was told that I would make $10 if I got G0 on the broadcast.
That's a pretty good motive. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm here for the money. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Pay driver. You know how it goes.
Okay, so two questions here. You got to go to Petit Le Mans for the first time this year. How was it? What'd you think?
Incredible. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful racetrack. Wonderful facility. It was awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I hadn't been to an IMSA race before. Went to 3 this year.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we appreciate you supporting us and coming to the races. That means a lot. With the decision between the Dawsonville pool room or the Claremont Lounge, why did you land on Dawsonville?
Because NASCAR.
Okay.
You're there. You might as well.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
I've never experienced anything like the Dawsonville pool room, and I am glad I went. That was an experience, to say the least. It was culture shock coming from Petit Le Mans to the Dawsonville pool room.
Oh, you should go to Claremont Lounge, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some culture shock for you right down here.
Yeah,
so
that might be a move next year.
Awesome. Will we see you in our race next week?
I mean, that's the World Finals, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some negotiations to work on with some sponsor deals.
Okay,
sure. I'm coming out and showing big like this today. I'm well beyond a $10 driver now. I'd expect, $15.
Wow.
Maybe some coupons, something like that. So
yeah,
we got some negotiations to do this week. But as soon as all that goes through, we'll get on track. We'll get some tests in and get the engineers in, and we'll make some moves. We'll see what we got next week.
All right.
Awesome job.
Well,
Thanks for
job,
coming
Ben.
out.
Thanks
and
for joining.
We'll see you next week. And maybe we can get you set up with some Continental tires if you bring home the big win.
All right. I'll try it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, dude. All right. And I think that'll be it for our interviews. I think things are slowly wrapping out here. I think, Jonathan, we've covered all the time we can cover with you. So appreciate you running all these camera angles. Anything you took away from this weekend, Jonathan?
Just a lot of excitement. Totally excited, and it's great to be at a track that doesn't have barriers.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have that next week. We're going to have barriers.
I just real quick, Jonathan, thank you for everything you did for us this week. If we could look at Dogathan's car, I don't know if John Cantu's car is still circulating or if we even have that
I don't know in
option.
the replays if we can get to John Cantu. But yeah,
but if not, we'll check him
Right
out.
there.
Maybe we can tweet it or something. But
should be popping up in a
apparently
second.
he had a working QR code on his car. So maybe it's on the hood.
Okay, John Cantu. So let's kind of roll around different angles of the car to see if we can find a QR code. This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Yeah. So he mentioned it in the chat just now, unless I misread that.
QR
not seeing it
code. Yeah.
here.
Oh, it's on the.
It might be an angle we can't cover.
On the wing.
You see it
is
now.
what we're hearing.
It's on the wing.
Oh yeah.
So-
Okay. We wouldn't. We can do a social media post.
You can see it. You can see it right now.
Okay.
Mm,
We'll give it a
okay.
second. Oh, it's on. Is it on the fin?
Yeah, it's on the fin.
Oh yeah. We'll see what happens when it gets into the light. But I don't think we can do much with that. But
it's a QR code for Dinner with Racers, which is pretty awesome. And I also want to give them a shout out for Rockin' Motor Trend, which is where you can find our streaming series as well as on the DWR YouTube channel. And he's rocking a TMB. I guess it's just TMB on the wing there. Can't see if it says creative or not, but
it does.
Pretty cool. And John Cantu obviously is a corner worker, a marshal. He's at the track all the time, and one of the people we depend on to keep us safe. And can't say enough good things about him and his family that are racers to the core.
Absolutely. So much love to Dogathan, John Cantu, and much love to everybody who's out here both watching and participating. And again, we'll be at Indy for the World Final next week. We got some jumpy trucks, we got some Nissans, we got some Pumpellys, we got some Eversleys, we got some Continental tires. I got nothing.
Send it.
Are we hanging up?
Hang it up.
All right, goodbye, everybody.